To GoldBoys Live, presented by Pickett Sports Sleeper Picks. We got a full day of baseball, a bunch of day games. We'll probably get into some NFL, some college preseason. I think resumes tomorrow, if not Friday. Brian, 2 days in a row, and Josh, boys, what's going on?
And
you
I'm
guys,
wearing my Pickett hat, so I can't get in trouble for never doing anything for him. So it's a double win for me.
double win. No, I was gonna say, while we were backstage, I was putting in a sleeper play so we can pop off. Last night did not win because Matt Olson was getting pitched around like a mother, but I'm going back to him again today.
It's like people just started pitching around guys towards the end of the season this year.
So
they were pitching to him. They were pitching to guys like Pete Alonso. I feel like so many guys are getting like pitched around at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like they
It's
needed.
gonna get even worse the more
Yeah.
worse the more he keeps cracking homers. I mean, at this rate,
Yeah.
Matt Olson's been just on a tear.
Right. He was plus 200 to hit a home run yesterday. Plus 200. That is nuts.
Absurd. Yeah, ridiculous. They rob you with some of these prices. I will just say before these games get started, and we have Twins, Tigers at 110, and then Mets, Pirates. So 2 games getting going at 110 Eastern. I am on under 4.5. There's 4s, there's 4.5s. The 4.5 is at Bet Rivers. You got a few minutes if you want to tail. I did go under 4.5 first 5. Same pitchers as
Detroit, Minnesota.
Yeah. Same pitchers as last Thursday. Olson against Maeda. Maeda's been great. 8 out of the last 9 starts, 2 runs or fewer. Olson's been decent. His advanced stats are better than his surface stats. Neither of these offenses are great. So I will go under 4.5 first 5. I don't have anything in Pirates Mets. So that's my play if you want to tail on. I will just say, too, it's amazing. Braves team total did not go over last night. And that's one, man, if you just faded Severino, we talked about it, first 5 team total over. Yes run first inning, Braves minus 1.5. Everything got home except Braves, I think, had 5. They scored their 5th run. Acuna hit a 2-run homer in the 4th inning.
It was a 4th inning. They went 5 runs. Yeah, I'll tell you this. I knew some friends that were on the team total, and I think we kind of talked about that. It's not even, I always hate when people do victory laps after the fact, which is so stupid because if you were to tell me they didn't get 6 runs after that start, I would have 100% bet it. But, yeah, that was crazy that they started off really hot, kind of dried out like in the second, third, got nothing going. And then hit that 2-run homer. Then after that, I mean, you cash your first 5 bets, but I would have been thinking that over was just fly over, but they just went dry the rest of the way.
Yeah, these books do give you first 5 team totals. If you're like, hey, I just want to bet against Severino, I'm not going to worry about the bullpen. You did. Sometimes it's better to just narrow your handicap and isolate it. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Brad?
I don't even know why. Like, I guess I just prefer, like you say, like isolate my handicap. I didn't even consider Braves over 5.5. It was over first 5 or nothing, which is funny. Yeah. Like I got lucky,
But at the same time, I do understand when people could see value in say 5.5 for full game instead of 3.5 for just 5. Again, like everyone has their reasonings. I don't think it's one way or the other. But yeah, that was a brutal way to lose.
Well, I just think if you're going to fade Severino, like, hey, he's probably not going to be pitching the 6th, 7th. Like the best way to isolate, hey, I'm fading Severino is how many runs are the Braves going to score against Severino in the first 4 or 5 innings he's going to pitch. So that one got home. But the
next time you do first 5, it'll be 3 runs, and they're going to score 7 in the 6th.
Well, we did that against Syndergaard a couple of weeks ago. We did team total over. I think for the first 5 they didn't score, and then they exploded in like the 6th and the 7th. So it's not nothing is foolproof.
No, but Severino's as close as it gets to a guaranteed.
I'm surprised they sent him out there. Yeah, that was
on the list. It's him, Wainwright, Dallas Keuchel. Wainwright's pitching again tomorrow against.
Wainwright, gobble it up.
And Syndergaard tonight, I guess. And I don't know what you guys have for plays. I'll just give another one here. Reds first 5 team total over 2.5. It's in Cincy. It's a small ballpark. They lit Syndergaard up. They faced him. It was during the NBA Finals, so early June. They scored 6 runs in like 3 innings off him. He gave up a couple homers. He's pitched okay for Cleveland, but look, if you don't score 3 runs against Syndergaard in the first 5 innings and I lose. I'm okay with losing it. I'm going to fade Syndergaard. So Reds team total over 2.5 first 5.
The Reds also strike out a lot, but I even gave a look to the 4.5. I think 4.5 is a high line for strikeouts for Syndergaard as well, because they just, I mean, if it kind of in line with their thinking, if they're scoring off them, they should see the ball so well against them, even if they do have some free swingers. He just does not have enough movement on his pitches to really get you to generate a lot of whiffs there.
What if his K number's been for with Cleveland here? I'm going to look him up.
He's only hit it once with Cleveland, I'm pretty sure. He's been pretty consistent around 2 to 3.
He's 3 times for them now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he had 5 or 6 last time.
Yeah, he had 5 last time, but up until then, he really has not even cracked 4 very often.
Yeah.
Because if you remember,
Yeah,
Will, he
he
went
got
5
5
innings
against
against.
he got 5 in his first start, or, I'm sorry, he got 0 strikeouts in his first
Yeah,
start,
because if you
3
remember,
in
Will,
his
that
second, and 5
game
in
that
his
we
third.
didn't win off the team total,
Right.
he didn't miss any bats. It was a fact that
Even
nothing
if
was
you go to
landing.
the beginning of the season, he hasn't recorded more than 3,
Yeah.
except for that Toronto game.
Just to kind of like, I didn't finish my thought. I want to say this too, Will, because if you remember when we were talking about Fede Severino, his earned runs did not go over because there was an error before the one
Yes.
blast. So
Wow, you're right.
we were talking about the 3.5 or just to go with the team total. So he only allowed 3 earned runs. So if you took the over there, you got a little bit upset with that. But I thought it
Yep.
was kind of funny.
And it's funny to watch him pitch and just get lit up, and his stats are so bad. Like he was throwing 99. You figure, all right,
Yeah.
the stats are bad. Like, all right, he's had a lot of injuries, doesn't throw as hard anymore. Usually, you don't see a guy that's just getting lit up and seems washed up, and you watch him and he's throwing 100 miles an hour and stuff. But man,
Right.
that's he's been really bad. Knowing the Yankees and the way these guys leave the Yankees and go and do well, whether it's Chapman or Hicks or Gary Sanchez, or you just go down the line, I'm sure he'll go somewhere next year and pitch really well. But man, he has been awful.
Yeah.
Meant to mention Kyle Young in the chat. All you people that are listening, just feel free to give us questions, comments, concerns. We appreciate the content. Make fun of Brian, call him names. We don't really care. It's fine.
Yeah,
Just don't make
fair.
fun of me.
One of the reasons I want to bring up the savvy different angles is because I think in baseball there's a lot of angles to bet, and you can almost have the right cap and still miss a bet because you played the wrong angle. Kind of like we talked about the Braves. So I didn't know if you guys know this, but Barstool, they have a whole new ownership, whole new look of the app. They now allow you to parlay strikeouts with earned runs, and I think one of my favorite plays today is plus 131. It's Aaron Zavali of the Rays. You can take his 4+ strikeouts and parlay in the same game parlay fashion with his under 2.5 earned runs. And I think at plus 130, that's so fun because if you think he's gonna be effective at missing bats, he shouldn't be allowed the runs. He's only allowed 3 or more runs in 3 of his 15 starts. He throws a lot of pitches at the Pirates. I'm watching the Pirates game now that the Giants struggle with, and I mean, in the last 30 days, the Giants are 24.5% strikeout rate, so I think the strikeouts will be there. But they're second to last in the league in WRC plus, and they just don't hit the ball well against righties. So I think he probably goes 5 or 6 innings. He racks up 4 or 5 strikeouts, and I don't think he allows. I think he allows maybe 1 or 2, maybe 2 runs. So I think at plus 130, that's a play I want to do today.
I'm going to lose my first 500 here. Tigers Twins. We're one batter into the game, man on first, nobody out. And I just don't you get these feelings? Sometimes you're 5 pitches into a game, and even if it's the slightest thing, like a man on first, nobody out, you're just like, oh, this is over. I have no chance of winning this game. No chance.
It's funny you said because I do the exact same thing, and I'm going to be doing that at 3 o'clock today or 3:40 today for this game. Because if I have someone's under, like I'll have Savali's under today, that he could have 2 outs and two men on, and I'll be texting people, oh, here comes a blast, 3 runs all in one shot. There's no way. I'm like, dude, chill out. Like, like you just expect to lose, and it is always kind of one of those things. Too much experience can be a bad thing at times.
This matchup though is like 2 dudes that just pitched against each other. We were talking about Reese Olson already facing the Twins twice, the rookie coming in. Like there was things that scared me about
I
it.
took his under.
I agree.
I took his under for a
me.
quarter unit. I took his K under for a quarter unit just because I couldn't sit
Reese Olson.
Yeah, I couldn't talk about it with you guys and have no action on it. Like,
Right.
I didn't because I've got a pretty expensive fantasy league and I have both these dudes starting in it, and I was like, that's enough money for me. And like I said, I'm pessimistic about both of them because they're starting and they've both been pitching so well for like 3 starts in a row. But we'll see. Like Maeda gets the K, like maybe he'll settle down. I wouldn't worry about a first walk to the first batter. We're also all just prone to be pessimists here when it comes to betting on sports.
Right.
Yeah, strike 3 called. It's all over. You're safe now.
I got a couple of things from much more fun games than the ones that are playing right now, to be honest. Houston at Miami, fun series. I'm going with the Stros money line. I wanted to fade Luzardo more directly because he's been awful in his last like 5 and really his last 3, even worse. But he has one good outing there against Colorado. He is better at home, or I'm sorry, he's better on the road and they're at home. So something to be said for how bad he's been at home. But I took the money line there, minus 115 for Houston, and it's a similar bet to my Zach Wheeler bet yesterday. I'm going with Verlander over 17.5 outs, also at minus 160 on DraftKings. But Verlander's gone 6th in the 2 times he's played for them. 7 out of his last 10. We're talking about a Miami team against righties that's been bottom 10 in the league for the past month and a half. So, I think I'm going Verlander and the Stros money line there.
By the way, you mentioned the Astros. We have the bet who's going to win the division. I have the Astros. You have the Rangers for $200. I am heavily rooting for you to win now. I really doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on Rangers yesterday. I found a minus 140 to win the division. They're up 4 in the loss column. They only play 3 times head to head. It's just, I don't know. Texas has held them off this long. Houston just can't get close. The one thing I looked at the schedule, looked at it after I made the bet like a fucking idiot. The one thing that scares me, Astros have a 12-game stretch in mid-September where they play the Royals 6 times and they play the A's 3 times out of the 12 games. So we better have a cushion there. But
however, the Royals are not the Royals.
They've been pesky.
They're pesky.
The Royals are so they're weird now.
And Brady Singer is like turning into a good pitcher.
Yeah, they're super pesky. It's weird.
Well, Brady Singer was I actually was a big fan of Brady Singer last year, and then this year
you know why they're good is Bobby Witt Jr. by the way too, which brings me to just a really
back up the Brinks truck for him, right?
For Bobby Witt, yeah, and that's gonna be my Halloween costume with my wife this year. Is I'm gonna be dressed up as Bobby Brown, she's gonna be Whitney Houston, and then we're both gonna be wearing Bobby Witt jerseys over our costumes. So we're Bobby and Witt. Get it?
Oh, I like that.
That's a really good one.
Thank you.
Wow, we have to figure out ours. I was just probably gonna think like my wife was gonna be a pinata because she's pregnant.
That's good. That's good.
That was funny.
Oh my god, that's bad. You should be a baseball player who strikes out a lot and just like walk around with a bat and be like, I'd like to hit the pinata with this bat, but I miss it.
I'll buy you a hobby bias.
Yeah, be a hobby.
I would say I'd be like Gary Sanchez, but he had a grand slam yesterday, so I can't talk trash.
Yeah.
Did we lose Brian or I can't hear him?
Can you not hear me?
I can hear him.
I'll throw one more in there talking about Philly Toronto. What do you, Brian? What do you think about Aaron Nola? Because I feel like either way, Gosman's the guy to back in this game. Nola's been bad, man. You know.
So I have a question for you. Is there a way, like, what books offer? They have books that have like total strikeouts, right? I kind of like that because I think they could both rack up strikeouts.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't some books have that? I think DraftKings has like a thing where it's, like say like 15 and a half walks or, you know what I'm saying? I think there's because both these teams I think will strike out today. I was actually trying to find a book to offer that.
You're talking about one of these guys. We all have these guys where you fade them and they're great, and then you bet on them and they're awful. Like I can't get him right. I just can't get him right. I don't know.
So it's Syndergaard?
No, he's talking about
Nola.
Oh, Nola. Yeah, Nola is just. I'm always not always, but I just feel like I can't figure him out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if some book, I'll look at later because I couldn't find I was going to ask you guys, but I don't know if you guys know it, but if some book does offer that, like I think some do, like FanDuel does it sometimes, but they have it, what I was going to say is they have each player to record a strikeout in the first inning at like minus 120. I think something like that would be kind of fun because I do think these both guys start off so hot. Like Aaron Nola's only issue is after the 5th inning. So I think like a play like that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, they're both juiced up down to the over. 5.5 for Nola, 6.5 for Gosman, minus 160 for Gosman, minus 170 for Nola for the overs.
Yeah.
But I did take the Blue Jays first 5 money line for a couple of units in this.
No, I like that. I mean,
trying to ride with Gosman.
Tigers have 2 out. No, Tigers have 2 on, 2-2 count. Little pop up the first right near the stands, and it drops. The guy just drops the ball. And wow, we get a strikeout. I mean, I'm just shocked that wasn't a 3-run home run.
Got a strikeout.
All right.
So, as someone that's backing Gosman today, Josh, what are your thoughts on? I was shocked that his outs are 17.5 and really playable. And minus 130.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised by that. I don't know.
Figuring he'll go 6, right? You like the over? You're saying?
Yeah. I was surprised because he's also a guy that he gets a lot of those 18.5 outs where you can't touch it. I know he's not necessarily going as deep as late, but I don't know. This Phillies offense has scored 2 runs the last 3 games. They've looked pitiful.
If I feel good about their first 5 money line at minus 145, like I definitely feel good about Gosman to get into pitch the 6th minus 135.
Gosman in 23 starts has gone 17 or more games of 6 or more innings.
Yeah,
he does have to complete the 6th, but yeah, that's.
That's what I'm saying. 6 or more. He's gone 17 or like I don't know. I almost want to bet that just off the principle that I think that for the longest time to start the year, I was betting Gosman 17.5 outs almost religiously, and then it kept getting to 19.5, 18.5, even 20.5 at times. That I think the fact it's opening up here is just kind of like a godsend. But then again, I thought that for Wheeler's walks yesterday, and they walked 4 guys.
Dude, so 2 things. One, this is not that. This is a different bet. This is more reliable. Gosman outs is much more reliable.
Minus 120 on MGM.
What I realized about the walks, dude, is it would basically be like if we were like picking like personal fouls, like plus or like over under personal fouls in a basketball game where we need the referee to make a call for us to get the fucking, like, I hate that. I'm never doing. I'm done with walks. I'm so off walks.
That's fair. I'm gonna lock this in. I don't know if
did you guys see the strike 3 in the Red Sox Nationals game? That was in the other batters. Oh my goodness!
I don't know how Turner did not flip out. I would have been ejected 100%.
It was Nats, right? It was Nats and
and
both the dude on the Nats who they're playing the Sox, and the Nats broadcast was like, "That's the worst strike call I've ever seen." Even though
definitely the worst one of the year I've seen.
Yeah,
Jesus.
You know what's funny though? It's obviously shared a lot because it wasn't a high leverage situation. I feel like it's going to be kind of forgotten about by like major media.
And the Red Sox won.
It shouldn't be because it's such a bad call. It doesn't matter if there's guys on base. Like you can't have that. I'm not sure if we're going to post this or not, but I'm just letting people know that I am locking this in. I checked Pickett Sports app. Gosman over 7.5 outs is as high as minus 155 on Caesars, minus 140 on Canby Books. Yeah, MGM has it just sitting there minus 120. I think that's at minus 120 for 6 innings. I'm taking that. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm going to be watching the Phillies like always. So even if it loses, it's a win for me.
Yeah, what's going on with the Phillies? This is now 3 in a row they've lost. What is their deal?
3 games where they just, you know what it was? They got 4.5 games in first of the wild card and everything started looking good. So as a Philadelphia sports fan, I know that when things start looking good, just expect the worst to happen. Because they skyrocketed. I mean, they went from 3 games out of the wild card to 4 games in first over it in the span of like 2 weeks. They just were hot. I think my thing is, we talk about all the time, baseball is such a long game sport that you don't want to get too upset over 3 games, but they got to turn it around soon because they got the easier part of the schedule coming up.
Yeah.
Anything else, you guys? Where did Josh go?
The show's better like this, I think.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, well, I did it for you. Well, we can do that thing when he actually comes back. We can make it look like we talking nice about him. Hey, man, we missed you.
I was listening the whole time. Don't even worry.
Damn it.
Where'd you go?
I'm not even gonna tell you. I will tell you. I had
that sounded like real sketch, real fast.
I was like, this is way less sketchy than it actually was. I had a giant chia seed in the back of my teeth. I had to get a toothpick and get it out.
Oh, okay.
You definitely just got some shady delivery at your door.
No, I didn't know. I can't tell you that. Can I tell you about my basketball pick real quick? Because I did lock it in yesterday.
Oh God, NBA already? Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if you want it or not, but
go ahead.
Go down.
I already have it. You texted it to us. How would I not have it? Go ahead.
James Harden MVP. Lock it in.
Oh, right. Yeah, James Harden it's Benny Matz, my boy Benedict Mathurin, for 6th man of the year. Could be coming off the bench, I think, and it's one of those bets where at the beginning of the season you're either going to be like, this is already an awful bet because he's starting, or not. But there's basically like a 50-50 chance that he starts and doesn't. And if he doesn't, you're talking about a dude who just had 18 a game off the bench last year, and started a lot of games too. So like if that's the case with Bruce Brown in there, then I'm feeling good about that at 34-1. Lock that one in for you.
Leadoff single for the Twins. I'm back to losing this game, I think. Okay, go ahead.
When you sent the text over about Benny Matz, I was like, dog, I thought I knew basketball, but like, I've never, ever heard of this dude. Benny Matz? I was like, not a way. Like, I need to study my shit.
My bad. Benedict Mathurin.
I get it now. I wasn't thinking about basketball. You dropped the basketball bomb in our lap. I thought I was out of line for suggesting to bet on week 1 college football. That's only 10 days away. 14 days away or something.
Yeah. But bro, it does not get any more dog days of summer than this right now, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Will's taking a hiatus.
Yeah. Why let me ask it this way. What are the chances you think he's coming off the bench?
50-50.
Okay.
So that's why I took it at 34-1, because it's like 18 a game off the bench.
Yeah.
With probably like 5-6 boards. He'll also play like the end of game. He'll still get like 30+ minutes.
Right.
So who are they going to start over him?
Bruce Brown. And Nemhard started over him a lot last year as well.
Yeah, Bruce Brown. So they go
And
Halliburton, Hield,
yep.
Brown,
And you
Walker,
could
Turner.
It's not a terrible team.
It's not at all. It's
No.
definitely more than 37.5 wins. I could put some on it, but it's like minus 110. I just hate doing that for a full season. But 30, I have them at like 42 wins, dude. Like at least 41. Looking at who they're better than, they're definitely being undervalued.
Do they have odds to make the playoffs yet?
Great question. I think there are odds for that. It's still going to be the same concept though of like if you take them over 37 wins, like you're basically taking them in the playoffs. Yeah, I can't even get NBA bets. It's like so buried. They're like, we're not even thinking about it. But yeah, you can. Wins playoffs. Yep.
What's the playoffs odds?
Let's see. Participate plan. Exactly. Make the playoffs. Indy. Where are you at, Indy? Wouldn't it make sense to just do this in alphabetical order? Yes, it's 135. Great call, Will. Thank you.
What is it? Yes, it's plus 135.
Yes. At least it's not minus 120.
I would expect a little more bang for your buck. I don't know. Remember,
Really?
you got to make the play. Like you got to clear the play. So if you make the play, you got to get out of that tournament and get in the main draw.
Yep. There's already one spot
no,
available in the top 6 from last year, which is Brooklyn's. They were 6 games under 500 without Kevin Durant last year. So
the uncertainty with Philly, let's say Embiid, like they probably wouldn't trade Embiid, right? Who are the 6 teams? I don't know. I know nobody wants to do NBA right now. I'm just curious.
My bad if I did it, but no. I mean it's Boston, Milwaukee, Cleveland.
The Knicks will make it. Cleveland will make it.
Miami, if you
hang on, let's slow down. I want to write them down.
All right.
So it's Boston, Milwaukee,
Cleveland.
I'll put the Knicks in there. I think they're solid enough. Miami, I guess we got to put in there, even though they weren't great in the regular season.
You don't have to. You really don't have to.
And if they don't get Dame, it's not a slam dunk, but we'll put them in there.
So let's say there's
5. Let's put Philly in there. Just assume.
What I was gonna say was you got 4 that you like the most, right? You got Boston, Milwaukee, New York, Cleveland. We're like good on that. Then there's 3 teams for 2 spots in terms of Miami, Philly,
Atlanta,
and now Indiana, if you consider them up that high.
I put Philly in, just say, hey, as long as Embiid's healthy and playing, they'll be in.
Right.
I think Embiid plays 65 games. They get left on a spot in there.
Yeah, but then you have Atlanta, the Pacers.
So we thought last year about Atlanta, and the Pacers won 35 games with Tyrese Halliburton not playing for like 2 months.
I just mean in terms of getting in the playoffs. I don't want to take plus 135 if they're in a play-in scenario where like they have to win a couple games. I don't know. We probably spent way too much time on this already. I'm just curious.
I don't know, man. Pacers are fun. Don't sleep on them. Talk about actual bets at least. I'm gonna hit the yes.
Yeah.
I think that
Our chat's kind of dead today. Are we boring you guys? Are you guys just not there? I'm curious what's going on with the chat.
Right.
They hate us.
We got all we
say
have.
Something. Say something, please, guys. Say something.
Man, we need to get Brad off his. We need to get Brad like his annex or something. Like he has these random offers. Oh man, I actually might. I'm gonna look at some live bets for these 1 o'clock games because I'm just realizing after this show I'm gonna be really bored.
I don't know if I mentioned it. I am laying a 1.5 with the Braves too.
You didn't mention it.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's the Braves and the Yankees are just two. It's like a high school team playing a t-ball team right now.
I couldn't believe the Braves were like minus 110 on the run line. First 5 was only like minus 120. At one point, that team total first 5 was plus money.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the Yankees don't even have a pitcher yet. Like they haven't even fully announced who's going to be pitching.
I thought I saw Randy Vasquez.
I saw that too, but officially it's still listed as TBD. I think it's going to be him, but I always think it's funny when you see like a sports book where they don't have a pitcher listed and the team's still like minus 250. Where the books
we don't care who you pitch.
We don't care who you throw out there. There's no chance. Like they don't even know who the guy's name is yet. They're just so low on it. Oh my word.
Yep. So yeah, I'm laying Braves 1.5. Reds team total over, and I'm sweating this under first 5 here. We're still this bottom of the first is lingering.
Let's just do this real quick before we go. Then why don't you just put together like a 5-leg home run parlay for us, Will?
Oh God.
And then
I'll go. Yeah. I will go Acuna.
All right.
Judge. Matt Stairs.
Okay.
And I gotta think of the other 2. I don't know.
You're not gonna take it seriously.
I will say those are my favorite videos. This is my favorite videos to see. You ever see those videos where it's like the people making for the TikTok guys that are like, oh, like, fantasy football advice, guys to avoid. It's like, insert a real person that they wouldn't take, and then the second person's like Antonio Gates hasn't played in years. It's like they make those kind of videos where it's just the people you shouldn't take in your fantasy football leagues. It's pretty funny.
I also love like, hey, read this or listen to this video and you'll win your fantasy league. It's like, yeah, what if the other 9 guys in my fantasy league are also reading the same thing?
And then
We're all reading the same shit.
At the end, they tell you to share it. Like your friends are not friends with you on social media.
Hey, Will, you got to run on the board.
Nice.
Oh no!
There's no run.
What's the under, Brad?
Are you kidding me? It was 2 outs, nobody on, and a wild pitch. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, but
that's a rough one.
Wait.
That is a rough one.
Olsen already has 1K.
I will say though, the only plus in that, Will, is I was looking for a live bet, and this might open up a chance for me to join in on you live. That's the only thing I'm thinking about.
That's great. That makes me feel so much.
Because I know I like the under with you. I'm just saying that I checked the live first 5 and it was at 3.5, but maybe now it's
gross
back to 4.5.
That's a frustrating one, man.
Light them up.
Reese Olsen was cursed from before this game fucking started. That's stupid.
It was a 2-out walk too. 2 out, nobody on walk. I mean,
garbage.
Terrible. Anything football? Did you have a football or a sleeper? You said you wanted to add something, right, Brad?
Yeah. So I'll go sleeper first.
Hit us.
All right, sleep, baby. All right, let me pull it up.
Sleep.
First of all,
I
took the advantage of the Gaussman over 2.5 Ks. I'm back to Matt Olson, but I did 1 hit. And then I did Altuve over at least 1 hit as well. $20 profits you $48.20. So basically, you just need Altuve and Olson to get hits today. I like there. Well, we don't know the pitching matchup for the Yankees, but I like Olson. And then we got Luzardo on the bump for Miami. And then football. Let's talk to football, right? I am going to take a week 1 bet that I know is going to move. I'm taking Penn State minus 20.5 against my poor Mountaineers. Penn State 9-4 against the spread as favorites of 10 or more. They do pretty well. I think they've scored like 35 plus in back-to-back week 1 home openers, week 1 or in home openers. West Virginia was second worst in the Big 12 in defense, and that's the Big 12. They're 112th in EPA per play on defense. This is probably the best team that James Franklin has, with Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, Drew Allar. They should be more physical at the point of attack. So I think James Franklin just goes heads and rides that pony all the way home. I'm projecting something like 48-3, 48. They might get 6 or 7. So 48-3, 48-6, 48-7, something like that.
He's a bully too. He's kind of
he's such a bully.
I don't know if I can say, what I don't know how many people he's a scumbag. Franklin's a scumbag.
Except for when it was like the most sketchy game in the world when their team total was over 38.5, and they scored 38 points by the third quarter, and then they didn't score another point for the rest of the game. And I was like, James Franklin always runs it up.
Yeah, he always runs it up. Him and Harbaugh. Harbaugh loves
Harbaugh.
Yeah, you don't want to be taking the 35 with the when it's some random school against Michigan and they're laying 35. He loves to cover for his alum.
I'll give it another play. Then. Michigan over 51.5 in the game with ECU week 1. ECU is 132nd in returning production. There's only 135 teams. They don't have their quarterback, which scares me on the total. But this is one of those totals where Michigan's probably going to cover it themselves. I'd take that. I'm more comfortable in taking that than taking Michigan minus 35. But I think both hit.
So maybe Michigan team total over once it's up. I don't know if the team totals are up yet, but maybe that
team total's up. But it was a little high for me. Where it was high enough to where I'd rather just take either just take the spread.
What when you say ECU is missing their quarterback, do you mean like not returning, or you mean their starters hurt?
Eligibility. He plays for the Ravens now. ECU does
Ehlers, right?
Yeah. Holton.
Seahawks, I think.
Yeah. Wait, what'd I say? Yeah, he plays for Seahawks. Yeah, he plays for Seahawks. Yeah, dude. They're starting running back. Their 3,000-yard receivers are gone. Like offensively, I'm terrified, but I just think that ECU plays hard enough to all they have to do is get 7 points. They score once, we're hitting that over. What was Michigan team total? It was enough for me to get off it. Yeah, it was 43.5.
So you think if it's 45, so you think if ECU scores 7, that'll push it over. So you think Michigan's going to get 45?
Yeah, so 45. Might as well take it. I don't know. I just thought that was I like that line with at least getting 7. But like I said, if Michigan scores 55 points in this game, I won't be surprised.
Yeah. I'm always sketched out by these lines that are in like the 30s and 40s, where it's like I just don't know the motivation for these teams to run up the score, and do they come out flat?
Well, week one in the big house, like I think that's good recipe to score a crap ton of points. I just get afraid of the complacency on the defense late in the game.
None of you guys are betting preseason, right? NFL?
No, I don't have anything NFL preseason. I do have a soccer play. If anybody wants it.
Yeah, go for it. That's what we're here for.
So I'll do a soccer golf combo. I parlayed Manchester City to win and Scotty Scheffler to win BMW. That's 11-1. Then I parlayed Manchester City to win and Rory. It's 13-1. But I also took Manchester City to win in the first half at -110. Better team, far superior. And then Sevilla is going to be down, arguably one of the best keepers in the world because he has agreed to go play in Saudi Arabia. I played at -110, excuse me, not -112. But I know there's a better price out there. So if you guys want to use Pickett or anything that you guys use to shop your lines, do it. But that's Manchester City first half money line. And that's one of those where I'm confident and comfortable. If you lose first half money line, I'm doubling down second half.
All right. Sounds pretty good. We are still 1-0 here. I think Miguel Cabrera just went tagged up. My goodness.
Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't realize you could still move like that.
I thought he was going to stay. I thought, you know what? It's August. He's had a long career. It's a meaningless game for them. I thought he'd just stay on second, help my bet. But now
I joined in on you. -140. I got it after the first inning for under 5.5.
For first 5?
For first 5.
I didn't even know Cabrera knew how to tag up. I thought
me neither.
He had no speed like that anymore.
Oh, well, they had a cheeseburger on third base for him. That's probably why he runs for it. All right, we'll go on that. Hall of Fame bets, Pickett Sports, Sleeper. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate the chat. We will be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern. Appreciate you, boys. Good luck with all your plays. See you tomorrow.